the merchant and the genie. In an ancient city nestled between dark hills, there was a young merchant named Suleiman. Suleiman was known throughout the city for his wisdom and business acumen. He inherited his father's trade at an early age and managed his small shop in the market. Although he was young, his ambition was immense, and he dreamed of becoming one of the wealthiest and most powerful merchants in the kingdom. He lived a modest life, but his ambitions drove him at every step. Suleiman was beloved by the people, for he was kind-hearted and generous, always helping the poor and needy in the city. He worked hard to improve the lives of others, but despite his wealth, he sometimes felt a deep loneliness, as if something was missing in his life. The days passed, and one stormy night, Suleiman was returning from a visit to one of the city's merchants. The night had fallen, the wind was howling through the trees, and darkness enveloped the streets. As he walked through a narrow alley branching off the market, he felt something strange. The air was heavy, and there was a faint light coming from one of the dark corners. He felt something unusual, and with curiosity he began to approach. Suddenly, an old window on the side of the alley exploded, and from it poured thick green smoke that filled the air. Suleiman felt a shiver run through his body and stopped for a moment. There was a strange feeling, as if something massive was emerging from the smoke. As the smoke cleared, a huge being appeared in front of him, radiating a strange green light. It was a genie. The genie spoke in a deep, majestic voice. "O merchant, I have been freed after centuries of imprisonment. I am the genie who was trapped in this alley due to an ancient mistake. But now I will grant you one opportunity. Choose whatever you wish from 3 desires, and I will make them come true, but you must choose wisely." Suleiman was in a state of shock and disbelief. He could not believe what was happening. It felt as though reality had shifted into a dream. He gathered himself and said, "I want to be wealthier and more powerful in the world. I want to be one of the greatest merchants in the kingdom." The genie smiled and said, "Your first wish is granted. But remember, power and wealth may bring danger as much as they bring benefit." Suleiman paused for a moment and then made his second wish. "I want to live a long life so I can enjoy my wealth and use it to help improve the lives of others." The genie replied, "Your second wish is granted as well. But remember, a long life may bring with it loneliness and monotony." Finally, Suleiman thought carefully about his last wish and said, "I want the ability to read people's minds so that I can make the right decisions in my business and always know what people are thinking." The genie smiled again, saying, "Your third wish is granted. But remember, knowing what others think may bring challenges and tests you never expected." With his wishes granted, Suleiman felt an extraordinary power within him. He became immensely wealthy, and his business began to thrive like never before. He could predict what would happen in the market, and he could foresee price fluctuations before they occurred. His trade expanded rapidly, and he was soon regarded as one of the wealthiest and most powerful merchants in the kingdom. But as time passed, Suleiman began to feel something strange. He had everything: wealth, power, long life, and the ability to read people's minds. Yet, he felt a deep loneliness. People began to fear him, and he had no true friends. He was cautious in all his dealings and found it difficult to trust anyone. Even when he helped others, he felt as though they didn't fully trust him, knowing he could read their thoughts. One day, Suleiman decided to visit one of the poorer districts in the city where he had grown up. The city had changed a lot since he had become rich, and he wanted to see how the lives of people in the poorer neighborhoods had turned out. When he arrived, he felt something strange. The houses were dilapidated, the streets were empty, and people lived in miserable conditions. He approached one of the residents and asked, "What happened here? Where did everyone go?" The old man replied in a weak voice, "We have been destroyed, O merchant. Trade and the pursuit of wealth have become the only things that matter. No one cares about us anymore. Everything has become about money and power. Even those who once had wealth no longer have life or spirit. Suddenly, Suleiman felt a heavy weight in his heart. He realized that, because of his wishes, money and power had become everything in his life, and he had contributed to the suffering of others. As he pondered this, he felt another strange sensation. He sensed that the genie was watching him and could see him smiling from a distance. Then the genie appeared before him again, saying in a deep voice, "You were wise in choosing your wishes, but you were not wise in how you used them. Power and wealth may have brought you benefits, but they also brought you isolation and regret. Nothing in life comes without a price, Suleiman." Suleiman, deeply saddened, asked, "Can I correct my mistakes? Can I return to my former life?" The genie replied, "You cannot return to the past, but you can start anew. Choose one final wish, but remember, this time you must be wiser, for what you choose will cost you something precious." Suleiman thought for a long time. He realized that his life had changed forever, and that he had lost something more valuable than wealth and power. He said, "I want to return to my former life, where I lived with the people and helped them. I want to be an ordinary person again, living a simple life." The genie smiled and said, "Finally, you have chosen wisely, Suleiman. I will grant your wish, but remember that life is not about money or power. It is about giving, love, and humility." Then the genie disappeared, and Suleiman found himself back in the old market where his life had begun. He returned to his modest shop and began helping people with sincerity and humility. He dealt with everyone with a spirit of giving and sharing, and became close to the people. He shared their joys and sorrows, and was loved by all. As time passed, Suleiman felt inner peace. His life was simple, but he was happy with what he had. He began to rebuild his relationships with people, sharing the wisdom of his experiences. He learned that true life lies in giving and compassion, not in money or power. The end moral of the story. True wisdom lies in understanding that wealth and power are not everything in life. Human relationships, mutual help, and humility are what give life meaning. True strength comes from the ability to give and sacrifice for others. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.